Hello students, in this video I will show you how to calculate variance with a relatively small data set. So the numbers we're going to use, we're going to have a data set that consists of only 4 numbers, just so we have a good idea of how to calculate variance. So I'm going to choose these 4 numbers, 3, 5, 7, 9. The first thing we need to do is calculate the average of those 4 numbers. So quick calculation of that gives us an average, I'll write it over here, gives us an average of 6. So after we calculate the average, what we need to do is calculate that value. The best way to calculate variance on paper is using a table format. So we have one column of our x values, our data set. The second column is going to be x minus the average. So 3 minus 6, negative 3, negative 1, plus 1, and plus 3. Next column we need is x minus the average squared. So we're going to square that middle column. So we can get 9, 1, 1, and 9. Change colors here. One of the final steps we do in this quick calculation is we're going to add up these last values. So it's a sum of this last column. So 9, 1, 1, and 10 and 9 gives us a value of 20. The variance is going to equal 20 divided by the number of values we have in our data set. We have 4. So our variance equals 5. To calculate the standard deviation is just a square root of the variance. So it's a square root of 5, which gives us a value of 2.236. That is how we calculate variance on paper and as well as standard deviation. We can verify the results using Excel. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do this in Excel. The benefit then is that you can take a series of 4 or 5 numbers, do it on paper, and then verify your results using Excel. So what I've done here is I have the values listed, 3, 5, 7, 9. I've calculated the average. Let's just type that in there. So these are the x values. This column here is x minus the mean, and this last column here, x minus the mean, and then that column is squared. This is our total. Our sum equals 20. 20 divided by 4 gives us our value of 5, which is our variance. And there is our standard deviation. Let's just make that a little smaller. So how to calculate variance and standard deviation, just showing you in Excel how we could do it in a table format. However, we can use this function here to calculate and verify our results. So the function we're going to use is VARP, the variance for the population of these 4 values. We get a value of 5, which corresponds to this value. Our standard deviation. Likewise in Excel, we can find that by going STD EVP bracket and highlight our 4 values in our population. We get the same standard deviation, 2.236. So one way of showing you on paper like that, using Excel, the table process, and then using Excel's functions. Once again, VARP, bracket, highlight all your data, standard deviation, STD, EVP, bracket, highlight all your data, and we'd calculate the standard deviation. So just showing you there is our 4 pieces of data.